So, welcome to a very special episode of the CadCast. We got...
Very special.
Yeah, it's very special, actually. We got a few people here. No, it's special because it's Canada Day tomorrow. This will go up eventually. Probably not on Canada Day. After Canada Day.
We should have just told them that we were recording on Canada Day.
Yeah, probably should have, but I don't give a shit. Anyway, so we got a few people here today. We got a new guest, but he's introduced second. We got a returning member from last time. We got the man, the myth, the legend, the man with the retired red menace, and the drum player himself, the expert in rock and roll, and also sort of country, but he doesn't like to talk about that. Alex.
How you guys doing? Pleasure to be back.
And now we got the second man, the new man here today. We got our Asian friend from the Orient. No, he was born in Canada.
I was born in Canada, yeah.
And he is our indie pop and K-pop expert for this matter. He is an expert in all things pop music. Mm-hmm. He is also has memorized every Queen song, is it?
Not every Queen song.
That would be me.
I know like the most popular ones.
10 right
now. And then we got our returning guest for every single friggin' episode. We got Cam Arun.
Yeah.
He doesn't know anything about music.
Yes, I do. I know what good music is. Objectively good music.
He likes Queen, so
he listens to...
He's somewhere.
What he does is he listens to Super Smash Bros. Music all day.
No, I don't. I never did.
Okay, and the only redeeming factor I have here is I know a ton...
You know a ton of rap music.
I am a rap fiend, but not that shitty trap rap.
We're allowed to swear? Okay, good.
Yeah. Not the mumble rap, but...
He grew up on Grove Street.
Yeah, definitely. No, not that crappy mumble rap stuff, just actual lyrical rap.
Yeah, that's good.
So, I know it's actually surprising. It's entirely different, like the whole setup for how the bars are laid out for... what's it called? Regular rap is entirely different than music. I should probably bring up before I get into it.
Today's topic is music.
It is music.
If you couldn't tell why we're referencing...
You sometimes, you just practice, rap lyrics for sometimes.
I just sing them to myself because I'm bored and I need to fill dead space in my mind.
That's true. Sometimes, I'm sure a lot of people do it, but I sing in the shower, so...
Yeah. No, sometimes I'll just, rhyme things together, whenever I have not an opportunity, but at the odd time, I'll just go ahead and lay out a line of things that I rhyme.
To get the ball rolling,
yeah,
let's all admit that without music, life would be...
very boring.
Not the same.
Dude,
in fact, there would be no life.
I don't think that's true.
Well, not in that type of way. But what I mean,
life would not exist.
Yeah,
the planets would stop going around.
Here's music. It's like Footloose. Unless there's music, the planet is destroyed.
Yes.
Here's what music's really important to me, though, is because all these guys know. I'm not sure about Alex, but they know that I want to become a screenwriter, which is basically I just want to write scripts and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I have a bunch of I a portfolio of scripts that I've written, and majority of it is inspired by music. So
are they musicals?
No, they're not musical, but they're the core themes of a certain song, for example, that will somewhat be represented in the script somehow. For example, so one of it's a work in progress, but I recently got into Panic at the Disco. By the way, great. I like them.
Dude, what do you mean? They're a great band.
They're great. I love them.
I like the thing I like about Panic at the Disco is that they don't try and do anything innovative or new or anything like that. They do, but
they can just do whatever they want. Honestly,
oh, they do. But no, I think the best thing about them is that they do what's already been done over and over again, but they do it different. Not different. They do it better than anyone else does. They don't try and do something new. They try and do the same thing but better.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if I'm just a sucker for that kind of stuff, because there's a lot of movies and things like that where it's just, oh, it's the same plot as all the other movies, They just really go for it and
They
make
just kind of like present it in a way that's like really good.
Yeah, they just make it a better version of whatever it is.
Yeah, but anyways, so I've listened to I've dabbled in the Panic Disco music. I've listened to like 3 albums so far. Vices and Virtues, Death of the Bachelor, and Pray for the Wicked. Death of the Bachelor is currently my favorite, and second is next to Vices and Virtues. Third is Pray for the Wicked. Honestly, Pray for the Wicked is some of it's okay, but I like the style more of the other two. Okay. But anyways, so the script that's inspired from currently it's inspired from Death of a Bachelor and LA Devotee.
Wow.
When me and William we like went out to like the beach one time with like a couple of friends, and then he was just asking me play LA Devotee, and like I don't know.
Oh no! I was just trying to because we were going through all your entire playlist, and I was like, you know what,
play LA Devotee.
No, because you didn't know what that song was initially.
No. I did know it, but I just don't remember the lyrics.
Oh.
But anyways, so the script that's inspired from it, because it's a working title. Working title currently is called Entertainment's Devotee, and it's basically about how I view Death of a Bachelor and LA Devotee. I see it as very like an in-depth way of looking at entertainment, like the entertainment industry as a whole. And I thought that, wow, that's actually very interesting. How about I turn that into a script? And so, yeah, basically, Entertainment's Devotee. Just I want to make it. You good there?
Yeah.
He just like made the loudest crack. I'm not sure.
It's music. I was cracking my knuckles.
Okay. So, anyways, it's about this actor, and he's just kind of he's young and new. And he's trying to go through what it's like to be in the entertainment industry. So I thought, like, it'd be cool. And it's kind of like supposed to be, because I think those 2 songs is kind of like just like a young, new figure going in at it. He's very innocent at first, but then but then the entertainment industry somewhat slowly, for better or for worse, kind of changes him.
But what's his motive?
His motive? Okay, well,
let's talk about what does music mean to you? Like when you start your day, do you put music on?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I do is like I sing something.
No, me too. I plug in my headphones to my phone. I go to my Apple Music and put on one of my favorite songs, favorite bands. I like Led Zeppelin. I like the Beatles. I'm all about classic rock. And
what I'm imagining right now is Alex and or Johan over here. Plugging in their earbuds or throwing on their headphones and start singing out loud at the top of their lungs in the bedroom.
Sometimes I just like
second they wake
I always
up.
feel super weird. Like I always mouth lyrics to the song out in public, and I feel like people are just looking at me like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
You should.
I don't sing.
You should feel weird.
I'm gonna be honest.
I'm kidding.
I don't agree with the whole like waking up music thing, because I find whenever I make listening to music a routine or like a ritual, I hate it. Like I'll just get sick of a song and I'll want to kill myself.
I like to have it as a background type thing.
I mean, it really depends, because
I'm not saying it's just nice to have music in part of your daily routine.
Yeah, no, I understand it, but I don't know, I gotta be feeling it or else I just start hating it. I get it, though.
Yeah, music, the fan just turned on.
Oh, thanks, fan.
Thank you. Now the audio's gonna be weird. Okay, but anyways, I don't know, I just like having music in my life. I think I'd be very bored if I didn't, because, I don't know, I think for the past almost 15 years of my life, I never listened to anything, because for the longest time I haven't had like an actual smartphone. I've had I think for like the first 2 years of high school, maybe 3 tops, I had a Nokia phone.
Okay.
And it's a very old model, and it
just used for calling.
It was just mostly used for calling and texting, so I didn't really listen to much music.
Mom, I got hit by a car. Please help.
Yeah, and also, can you play like, I don't know, can you play like, can you play?
You can play ring.
When you call. What's that song called? It was like the beginning of the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Come and Get Your Love, yeah. Can you play can you play like Come and Get Your Love when you're picking me up from the hospital? But yeah.
Wait, that was a setup for that.
What?
Wait, that was a setup for that. Play this music when you're coming to get me from the hospital.
Yeah.
I didn't, because you were going on it for so long, I didn't realize that was a setup for that.
I know.
Oh, shit.
I've been a drummer for 13 years.
Oh, I've been playing piano. I've been playing piano for 12 years.
To me, music, it's not a massive deal to me, but it's somewhat of an importance because I'm in a band, my dad's in a band, my uncle's in a band. I was brought up listening to music, and I'm thankful for that because I was able to explore all these different types of music and learn how to play it and see how it makes people feel and just explore it in general. And I think music itself, there's a whole big other side to it than just, oh, cool, this song's on, let's turn it up a bit. I think it has really emotional and personal feelings to some people. Not me. I don't really have a favorite song or consider something that a song comes on and I start crying or something. But what I'm trying to say is it's very important to people, and it's a hunt. My friend Gerald plays the bass, and if he wants to be a rock star someday, that's a dream for a lot of people who are in bands, and it's not likely going to happen. But it's a war to become famous, getting off of music. And when you look at famous bands like the Beatles, 4 guys who had $5 to their name growing up in England, right after a few years after World War II, they had nothing. They had enough money on them to buy themselves a pop, but then they got together. Back then, people built instruments. You didn't need much back then, and what I'm getting at is comparing music to back then and today. Today, it's all computerized usually, but back then, you find yourself a stick and something to bang on a bucket. You build a guitar. You're happy. You're making sound, people are checking you out, you're getting attention. And then, that's how the Beatles started out. Then they formed a band, and they got rich, and then they got addicted to drugs and all into shit.
Is Paul McCartney still alive?
Yes. Paul McCartney and Ringo are the only ones still alive.
How old are you now?
They're mid-70s, late 70s.
Oh, seriously? They're still in the mid-70s?
I thought they were 90.
Yeah, I thought they're 80 or 90.
They're not that old.
Well, here's a question for you. You said earlier about the all you need is a stick and something to hit it off of. You ever listen to Men at Work?
Yeah. By
no,
the Slugs.
I'm talking about Men at Work, the band.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You ever hear the intro to Land Down Under?
Now think about it.
I didn't get copyrighted.
It's even that for an example.
No, it's...
What do you think made that happen?
I think those were literally just metal cans.
Yes, but the story behind that, I don't know it, but this is what we can assume. See, maybe that was early 80s, late 70s, that song?
Earlier, I think.
Maybe even. But anyway, it doesn't matter what time it is. Even something like that, to become so popular and iconic, you gotta think, how did they come about that? Usually it's just some guy fucking around making noises, and then they're like, oh, that's cool. But there could be a whole entire backstory to that, because bands, whether they're already popular or not, trying to come up with a song is very difficult. Very difficult. It takes a lot of time. I mean, sometimes you get lucky and, shit just pops in your head overnight. But even, what I'm saying is, even that little part to that intro, that could have taken weeks or months to come up with.
You ever written a song yourself, Alex?
I've written many.
You have?
Yeah.
Are any of them good?
Oh, come on.
Come on.
He's a little biased.
I can show you them.
Okay. We can do that
I got
later.
recordings. Like I said, I'm in a band, and we wrote about 100 of our own songs, and we formed this band.
What's 100 songs.
What's the band called?
The Offshore.
Ooh, that's actually
The
cool.
Gilded Century.
And we formed this band 2 years ago.
That's cool.
And so I'd say we're doing okay.
There's
And here's a question for you,
what's
Johan. have you ever written a song?
No, actually, no.
No?
All the 12 years that I've I've learned piano and done like.
You have to get creative.
I know, like it's. I don't know. Like you said, it's like it's super difficult.
Well, it's fun. It's fun to do covers, but then like I said, what we were just talking about before the intro to that one song, like that. You've been 4 guys sitting in a room fucking around with their instruments, and then.
Here's the problem with me, though. I'm just one guy. I don't have music friends. Well, I mean,
everyone's just one guy.
I mean, I guess that's true, but like,
No,
Well,
for
it's
Johan, he does do music by himself. And this is what I was going to ask you. I'm sorry if I'm cutting off everyone at the same time, but for writing music, is it a process that just you do, or is it the whole band working on it, or is it just
generally it's just individuals.
Oh, I know it is, but from the sound of he's making.
Well, this is how
I was getting at what he.
Fun experience. This is what usually happens. You're sitting there staring into space. Then all of a sudden, you pick up your instrument and start doing something, and then do that again. Then or like my friend Gerald will start playing his guitar. I'll start banging on my drums, come up with a little tune. Then the other guy starts singing. The other guy hops on the bass, and then before you know it, you got a song.
Well, lyrics.
So it's just it's a together process, or do you put it together, or does one of you guys?
It's like it's a puzzle.
No, generally what it is, lyrics are a lot different than how instruments are like formed, because lyrics, it's 100% solo. Lyrics, I mean, not 100% solo. Sometimes you have people sitting down together, but generally it's a solo effort, and one person sits down, writes a song, and they edit, they revise, they modify, so on and so forth. And then also, but on the other hand, instruments, they generally come together not natural. Sometimes it's naturally, sometimes it's by force, and you sort of find that one thing that works, and you say, okay, I like this, we'll use that.
Oh, like an example, like I don't know how accurate the Bohemian Rhapsody movie is, but when one of I honestly don't remember the names of the members, honestly, but when one of the members came up with Another One Bites the Dust, like
Roger Taylor.
Okay, yeah, that guy. I'm not sure how accurate it is, but like people like in the movie, they were like, yeah, that's pretty good. Let's work on that. Like I assume it's like that. It's like that.
If you guys have seen that movie, I'm sure you have. Even if you're not a Queen fan, it's still a great movie. But that one scene when they're in the recording room and they're all pissed off because Freddie shows up late, but then like I've been saying before, stuff just happens out of the blue. For We Will Rock You, Brian May, who's a guitarist, started going, and then everyone's like, "Oh wow!" And then you build it off of that.
Yeah,
I think when you're trying to come up with a song, you obviously find a sound you like. Everyone has to agree on it, and then you build.
I mean, it's like,
but if it's something you agree on, you got to keep that. You got to build off that. You can't change that, otherwise you fuck up.
But anyways, yeah, Will, to like really answer your question, if I ever written any songs, no, I have not. But it's just like it's very difficult for me, honestly, because I mean, like I like as much as music is kind of important to me. I just think I don't have the necessary tools or skills enough to really do it on my own. Personally, I'm more of a singer than a musician, so it was like it's like hard for me. As much as I would like to, I thought about it a couple of times. It's like, okay, can I make my own solo one day and just do whatever?
You should come jam with me.
I mean, I hope I can. Will you actually?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Dude, we have the makings of a new band. Let's go.
We could use some keys and a better vocalist.
Who's the vocalist in your band?
Right now, Gerald. He's not bad.
What happened to Derek?
That's another story.
Sorry.
Dude, welcome to real life things.
Well, yeah. If we're gonna throw this in a bit, music, it can be very stressful. Like this Derek we just mentioned was our singer, but he decided to skip town and ditched us the day of a gig.
Wait, he skipped.
Okay, you're actually
okay. Let's call that there because it's getting a little bit too real right now.
Okay, anyways, now I have a question for everyone else.
Okay, let's go.
So, Alex. So you talked about like how your dad was in a band and stuff like that. Hey guys, I just gotta ask you all a question based off of what Alex said before. Like, how much has your parents influenced your music taste, kind of?
That's a good question.
Negative 0%.
Like my dad,
Really?
my dad, like I said, I like classic rock.
Uh-huh.
My dad was born in the 60s, so he grew up listening to classic rock in that era. I grew up listening to Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Van Halen, the Beatles, all those guys. So that's how I got influenced with that type of stuff.
Yeah, with my parents, my mom is she loves very old pop music.
It's like 80s
Like an
or
80s era.
60s.
Like you ever
Like the
you know,
Beatles was pop.
No,
at that time.
we're
No, I
not
know
even
what you're
talking about that.
talking about.
Like you know Love Potion Number 9. You know that song.
Oh yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah.
Even some Queen.
Blondie.
Yeah, even some Queen songs. And then,
so generic.
but it's very generic. It's
And I don't like a lot of the. No, I don't know. From that time era, I'm more about the rock. Like
it's what it is generally party music. Because my mom did DJ work for a while.
Oh, so that's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
cool. That's actually cool.
But she played whatever like dance music or whatever it was for dance floors and stuff like that, and did stuff like that. But my dad, on the other hand, entirely different. Doesn't like that pop stuff. He thinks it's garbage. So it's the big yuck to him.
What does he listen to?
He listens to jazz.
That's actually not that bad.
I respect
But
it.
he
I
also
respect jazz.
he listens to rock, like Black Sabbath, things like that, but not as often as he listens to jazz.
That's cool.
That's cool.
But
If it wasn't for jazz, there would be no rock.
Cameron, what does your parents listen to?
Whatever, really. Just
I don't pay attention.
my mom listens to gross pop, and then my dad.
Gross pop is modern pop.
Hang on, I'm getting to it. My dad, though, kind of influenced my taste because he was he was really into the early 2000s, late 90s EDM scene. Like he would go to the underground illegal raves and stuff, and you know what I mean. It'd be back in the day. He has crazy stories about how back then the only way you're getting that music is buying a CD at the rave.
Mm-hmm.
And so he didn't really influence me, but I ended up over time, by myself for a while. I really listened to EDM, and I really began to appreciate the smaller stuff from that, and I found it to be a lot better than the bigger names and stuff. I honestly, though, to answer the question itself, I just kind of been listening to whatever I feel like, and just been discovering music. My good friend Alex here really helped me get into rock, to be honest with you. He started showing me stuff, and I'm like, you know what? I like this. And I just started listening to myself. I hear about someone, I try listening to them. I'm a guy that just listens to whatever when I feel like it. Rock is my main taste, though, but I branch out a bit and everything.
No, I know we didn't want to get back to this, and we came off topic, but what we touched base on very briefly, not too long ago, but the whole that Derek thing. Just because we're talking about music, when people become a band and form a band, it's like family, and it could be a very stressful time if something goes wrong. And most people don't understand that. They'll hear a song of the band on the radio. It's when, for example, when David Lee Roth left Van Halen, because it basically was they were doing well, and then of course, it being the time that it was and how popular they were, David Lee Roth got addicted to drugs and alcohol and all that blah 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 bullshit. But what I'm getting at is he was their main figure, and without them they went into a very hard place. And people, they make fun of that and judge that, but they don't understand. When, like I said, bands are family, and if something fucks up, it takes them into a dark place. And so what I'm saying is you really have to appreciate, even if you don't like the type of music or the song, you got to at least show some appreciation to that artist.
I understand what you mean there, because it's it being a family, to me, I can, I think I get it. I think I get what you're saying, because a family, it's you work off each other, right?
Yeah.
And the whole point of a band is working on each other.
Mm-hmm. It's like
it's finding that connection to, because that's what music is, right? I mean, you're bringing it back to. Now I'm cutting people off for days, but bringing it back really hard. How like you talk about old music versus new, about how old music has that passion in it. I mean, I think that's where a lot of small bands always like they thrive in is having that passion, and that family aspect kind of brings it together. You know what I mean? It takes away the
even in my little band, like we're, you know, we just jam for fun. We've done a couple gigs, but like even, you know, when we start arguing, it becomes a dark time because things kind of fall apart and we can't do anything about it until we resolve the problem.
Okay, first of all, stop that. William is cracking his damn fingers and it's really distracting.
Listen, I didn't start this, but anyway, that's it's a really interesting sort of idea. Well, imagine something like your father just disappearing out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Whoa!
Like no, not like anyone's father. This is even going out to any audience that's listening. Mm-hmm. And it's like, just imagine your father leaving out of nowhere, your mother leaving out of nowhere, some member of your family leaving out of nowhere. Think of how that's going to impact your family. That's going to change the dynamic so dramatically, and it's going to ruin your family for a while. Obviously, people recover, most of them at least, but sometimes the family dynamic just breaks down, and it's the same thing with music. So I think the family idea is absolutely perfect.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really insightful.
I did want to get your whole ideas, because I honestly don't really understand. The only structure I understand fully is the rap structure, but it's just because it's so simple. And it'd be nice if you could explain this to me in very first grade vernacular. How do you how is music sort of strung together, sort of even lyrics as well as the actual instruments?
Are you looking at me? Okay.
Both of you, Alex and
well, we're real music
you're
experts
being
here.
put on the spot.
I think you gotta have an idea at first.
Okay.
And if you want to base it off a topic, a situation, you know, there's a bunch of songs about fucking cars.
I'm talking about more like for example, like 3 or 4/4 structure for songs, things like that.
Oh, well.
I honestly don't really understand what that means.
Well, that's kind of like what you think of the way rap is built.
It's definitely not the same.
I know it's not the same. If you let me finish, what I'm saying is, it's on the tip of my tongue. That's just the way it is for that type of music. There's not really a certain history or reason why it's like that. It's just how it
Well,
works.
I'm not really even asking why. I'm asking, what is it? I'm at so let's lay out a 4/4 structure to me in comparison to a 3/4 structure. Like, what's the difference between the two?
One's faster and upbeat.
Which one's faster?
4/4.
4/4 is faster than 3/4.
Yeah.
So is it like, let's say it's a 3/4 structure? Would it be every 4 seconds there's 3 beats?
You see that? I don't know.
That you don't know.
Well, I think, the 4/4 is like, it's more faster, stuff like that, and the 3/4 is kind of like, it's sort of like almost like it's almost kind of like a dun dun dun, while the 4/4 is like dun 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 dun.
The music I know, and the way I do it is, it's just the way my band do it, and the way the type of music works I listen to. They don't really keep track of that type of stuff.
Okay.
It's just they do something and they remember how they did it.
Okay.
Like, yeah, there's obviously a beat, and you know, there's a certain amount, like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, da 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 type thing. But it's mainly based off of creation and remembrance.
Okay, interesting. Well, yeah, actually, here's a good way to sort of show it. Since you're a drummer, you should be great at this. Not that you are, but could you sort of tap on your leg or something and do a 4/4 beat? No, like tap your hand on your leg.
A 4/4 beat.
Yeah.
This is weird.
I want to know what it's
weird.
about. I don't know the difference.
This is weird.
With just...
Yeah,
You
4/4 beat,
hand.
regular
This is
4/4
kind of
beat.
a
Do you want me
challenge.
to get my drum kit?
No, don't, just tap it on your like 1, 2,
We'll put a
3,
pause on Alex toes.
3, 4. 1,
2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3,
Okay.
4.
Let's-
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Boom, boom.
Okay.
See?
So what's the difference between that and now? Could you try doing that but a 3/4?
A 3/4.
Yeah.
So like 1.
I want to know what the
This is a
difference
little
is.
much, Will.
I want to know the
This
difference.
isn't a good representation. We need like.
Well,
This
the
is
difference is the
excellent.
sound.
This is like a lifetime of
The difference is the sound.
understanding.
That's it. End of
Well, no,
story.
it's not. But
Okay.
I like I said, I got nothing more to say than sound in general because the way I play my drums is creation and remembrance. Like I don't write down, 1, 2, 3, 4. I just
you don't write actually.
I just hammer it out.
You don't write like sheet music type of shit.
God, no. I'm gonna be honest. I can't even read sheet music.
Okay.
I never could, and I never
You're
bothered
less of
to.
you're less
I
of a
can't-
theory, more of a practice type of guy.
I
right.
can't read. I can read, but I'm just
I never found an importance for it, and I could care less about sheet music.
I
Okay.
respect that.
I mean, for me, I do know how to read sheet
you
music.
know how to read sheet
It's been
music?
ingrained in my mind.
Okay.
So,
Too many music courses?
yeah, these were not like, paid. Well, actually, of course, they're paid. Like public lessons or something like that.
Yeah.
Like where like everything's like learned in like a group or whatever. No, I didn't take in private lessons. I've had private lessons before. All throughout my 12 years of learning, I've had private lessons.
I'm self-taught. I took lessons to learn how to play with other people. That is a thing. Because when you're playing by yourself and you get in a room with other people, someone starts doing something else, like, no, do this. And they're like, no, you do that. You can see what I'm saying.
Right.
So there are lessons for guys who, a guitar player and a drummer. They get in a room with a teacher and they teach you how to cooperate and time off each other and create beats.
That's actually that's neat.
And then you learn how to play with people. Like, okay, I'm going to do my solo now. Then you're going to do your solo right after mine. And I'm going to come back in on this beat. Shit like that.
Cooperation
practice.
And I guess with a
precisely.
band, there's so many more elements out of it. Like you said, like the factors outside of it.
The most important thing in music,
Crazy.
I think, and I'm sure people will agree with me, is timing. And if there's any musician, I can't speak tonight, musicians out there, I think you'll agree with me because without timing, there's nothing to build off of. And I'm a drummer. I'm always looking at my guitarist and my bassist, and we're playing. I do a fill. I gotta come right back in on time. He'll do a solo. My other guy will do a solo. I'll do my solo.
And then you sort of manage everyone else's timing to say, okay, this is the pace I'm playing at.
Yes.
And you are going to listen to me, and you're going to play off of me. If you speed up, everyone else is going to speed up.
That's
If
it.
you slow down,
Being-
everyone else is going to slow down.
The beat is most important. Being a drummer, if you fuck up, everyone fucks up. Because I'll do a beat, I'll set a speed, and they build off of me. I speed up, they speed up. I slow down, they slow down.
Right. Okay.
At the same time, you're playing for yourself in a way still.
You're still playing.
It's doing all at once.
Yeah, but you're still playing your part.
That's right.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah, you're doing more than one. But like his part is directing still.
It is all like it is still like everything's coming together at one. It's not just you.
It's like an engine.
Yeah, basically. Your car can't
It
work
could be
without the
missing a
engine.
few cylinders, but it'll still run.
Yeah, how long will that work?
Let's still go.
It won't work for
As
long.
long as-
Yeah, Alex is also like a fanatic.
As
for
long
cars.
as there's
Yeah, well, I also,
as long as there's fuel getting to the cylinder, it'll run.
yeah, but it'll also.
I could take all six, not all six. I could take 5 cylinders out of my V6 truck engine, and it would still run. It would run slow and crappy, but it'll still run.
Yeah, but what happens if you flood the other? I mean, I guess you could block the pipes, but it would flood the other cylinders, the empty cylinders.
No,
No?
the spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'd be fuel going in there, but there'd be nothing to do. It'd just pour out.
Yeah, exactly. It would just pour out.
Yeah, it'd be a complete waste of fuel.
But it wouldn't do anything harmful though. Like it would run, right?
Yeah, as long as there is something
No
to
one thinks it's a
burn.
good idea.
And then a spark happens and your entire engine
No one's
lights on
saying
fire.
this is a good idea. No one is saying this.
No,
Okay, now we're just talking about cars now.
anyway. No, yeah, some people are into cars, some people aren't. Anyway,
Yeah.
so there's an interesting. I understand that. I actually understand the structure a little bit better now and how the interdynamics between a band works. When it comes to rap, it's actually quite a bit different. It's very, very simple with how it's laid out. This is like the general thing that 99 or let's say 98% of rappers rap to. Bappers, yes. SoundCloud rappers mostly. No, like
Ooh.
the bad ones. No, but the way it's sort of laid out is it goes like this. Each one of these numbers I'm about to say is a beat. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, and then it switches on that fourth. So generally, generally there's like 4 different, and you can listen to any sort of rap song and you'll hear this exact tone, unless it's one of the special ones that has their own specially made one, and that's generally what it is. Where what it does is every 4 of those bars, and that's called a bar, that 1, 2, 3, 4, that's called a bar. And in those bars you have 4 beats that you hit with the words, and that's how you say the words and how you keep a constant flow. And generally you want to keep a rhyme on each one of those beats, and then on top of that you can add internals.
It's never in order.
It's very very orderly.
Yeah,
how
what
this
I
is
mean,
sort of,
what I mean, it's like, it's never like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, it's never a straight.
yeah, because what happens once you get to the end of that bar is it'll either it'll go to the next bar. Mm-hmm. And an interesting concept is slant rhymes, but or not slant rhymes, but interbar rhymes, but and words, which are a little bit harder to do, especially when you're rhyming them. It's an interesting concept, but it's a little bit too complex. The cycle continues,
even in rock. It's never straightforward. Here's another random car tip. An engine doesn't run in the order of its cylinders. If it's a V6, it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's usually 4, 2, 3, 4, 6. And then the cycle continues. Right after that last one fires, bang, blah, 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 you know?
And the interesting thing about that, when it relates back to music, is once it gets to the end of those 4 bars, it doesn't even with cars it'll restart right to the beginning. This, it won't even restart. What it'll do is it'll switch to a different sort of style of, once it gets to the end of 4 bars, it'll switch to you have do 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 do, and then it goes do 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 do.
Okay,
the tone.
And then it'll switch the tone, and then generally what it'll do the first 4, then the second 4, then the third 4th, and or the third 4, and then the fourth 4, and then it'll restart all the way back at the beginning, and it'll go ahead and start with that once you get to the 16, 2, 3, 4, and that's actually how you count it. You go 13, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 16, and then you switch back to 1 again once you restart. And sometimes you'll have the chorus go on every one of those 16, and generally fill up the first or second bar, but not always. So it's a very simple structure, and it's very interesting at how complex these things can be with such a simple structure. And I'm sure it applies perfectly to other music as well.
Oh, yes.
Every single one of these complicated, complex, like intermingling parts of different songs, they can all be broken down into these very, very simple things where people just fill in the gaps. It's like fill in the blank on a test.
Or, this is a good example if anyone wants to search this up, I would play it right now. It's just a waste of time and unnecessary. A tune called "When the Levee Breaks" by Led Zeppelin. The drums do not change at all throughout the whole song. It's doo doo, cha, boom, 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 ba. It does that the entire song, but then everybody else is doing their own thing.
And it's just that on loop?
Yeah.
Okay. And everyone else is varying.
The song is
They're
built
going-
off other things.
They're going.
Oh yeah, that's also what's really cool is that because like I can still hear the same like structure that I heard from the beginning and still played like in the last part of the song.
Exactly.
Like like you said, like it's like stuff that is like this. It's like this shit that's like building off of other shit.
Okay.
And I don't mean to call it shit, but you know what I mean.
Well, yeah. It's shit. Another word for stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. Anyway, so what I wanted to try to bring into this, I might as well just talk about now. I want to talk about the concept. I like I said before, like I am more of a singer than a musician, and I kind of want to talk about singing for a bit. I'm not sure how long I can do that, but
Go for it.
But I'll talk. But I'll try. But I'm not. I have self-taught myself, like like what Alex said. He taught himself drums or whatever, and yeah, I taught myself how to sing. I was very bad at first, but then again, everyone is bad when they first begin what they want to do. I mean, I'm not saying I want to become a singer, but it was a lingering thought in my mind. But actually, fun fact, and I'm pretty sure these guys know. I'm not entirely sure.
I probably know.
Probably, but anyway, so like 2 years ago, I auditioned to be in 3 different Korean entertainment companies.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I did not know about
No,
that.
you
Very
told
good.
me
I told these
I
two, but
told
I think you weren't there when
I didn't know
when
about
said
3,
it.
but I remember you mentioning at least one. Anyways, continue.
But anyway, so 3 of them, actually, who cares? You're not. I promise you won't get sued.
Alright, let's go.
Okay, so one's called SM Entertainment. That was the first one I entered. And,
Okay.
well, basically, the whole structure of it. By the way, being like in these whole like entertainment, like most of it's generally pop. I'm gonna imagine. It's like for agencies, it's definitely more of a. I don't know. I don't want to say structure. I'm gonna say more formulated because K-pop is very different compared to music here. Whereas, like, I think the focus is definitely more on the music. Whereas in maybe Asia or whatever, it's definitely more of a formula that goes into it. Like, it's very visual based as well. And I didn't think I was gonna pass, but obviously I didn't, or else I wouldn't be here.
Wow.
Okay, but yeah, it's like I kind of felt like I was a number almost because like I literally was given a number from these 3 different auditions because genuinely it's like when everyone's doing singing the majority of the time it's like it's hard because like you don't expect there to be much competition. Holy crap, there is so much competition just being a singer because there's always gonna be that one guy that's better than you at singing. So
unless you're that one guy.
that's better than everyone else.
Yeah.
Well, then there's that perfect thing for, like, oh, this guy's voice suits the type of music I play. Or the sound is perfect for the type of music.
Here's the only problem. Not a problem, but... And here's something that I kind of sucks in life, but it's definitely true. Pretty well everyone's replaceable.
Yeah, that's basically kind of the point, because, like, here's the thing, and the research I've done is that, like, most of them, like, in Korean entertainment companies, there's a 7-year contract. Once your 7 years is up, oh wow, that was actually a perfect snap, holy crap. Yeah, you're gone. Or you're terminated. Your contract is terminated. You're done with that. You're done with them. You're done to 7 years. You can renew it if you want, but most of the time, most groups will disband.
Well, that's a contract. And
that's a contract.
I'm gonna go back for a sec. I disagree because with being replaceable, yeah, you can find someone who's better, but like if I were to be replaced by a different drummer, I guarantee my band would be having a pain in the ass time with that new drummer only for one reason, because I know those guys and they know me, and we've spent enough time together to understand how we operate. That's the big thing.
Well, given enough time.
Whoa, that's all in theory, though. I think the point we pressed for most of the podcast was that can be so personal and family-like. I mean,
That's what I'm getting at. Like, I could be replaced. Anybody could be replaced at anything.
but
if you build time and relationship and understand how, like, these are my friends I've known since we were in diapers. So, like, my point is, it would be a very difficult time
Yes.
for that person to adapt.
Well, obviously, there's some exceptions to the rule. Like, you can't exactly replace, like, let's say. Oh no, you can replace a lot of people.
You can.
in music, though.
But even in music. But what I was gonna say
it's
is,
like clean,
like if it's a very personal thing, if it's like
to be made here.
if it's a very, very personal thing, like a family member, hard to replace. Very hard to replace. Sometimes replaceable, sometimes not replaceable.
Well, it's like Queen with Adam Lambert. Phenomenal singer, sounds a lot like Freddie, and works with their music. Led Zeppelin, they never replaced John Bonham. His son did it for a while, but even that didn't work out. Just because of the way John operated, and he was very close friends with Robert Plant. Keith Moon of The Who, never replaced him, just because they couldn't find somebody to relate. And what I'm saying is, yeah, I agree with you. You can replace anybody, but most of the time it's a regret.
Weren't there some people who were replacing the Beatles, like the original Beatles existed, and then like one or two members were replaced over time?
Never.
Never?
I don't think no.
You're thinking of the Yardbirds.
I'm definitely not thinking of the Yardbirds because I've never heard that name before.
Well, the members of when the Beatles were first starting out, it was the original four: John, Paul, Ringo, and George.
Okay.
And they had little side gigs. You know, okay, my buddy, you know, he plays bass. He needs me to go play guitar for him. Little shit like that. But they never disparted. They always were formed.
Okay.
If that answers your question.
Yeah, because I thought there was one of those bands where, like, those famous old bands where it's like,
Oh yeah,
one of the members left and was replaced.
There's a ton of stories like what I just said. Like, oh yeah, my buddy wants me to go. He has a gig tonight. He needs a guitar player. I'll see you guys later. Never came back.
Okay.
That type of shit. That happened a lot.
You always hear the stories of bands where
They have like a fight or something.
well, no, I wasn't even gonna say. I was gonna say where the person leaves or the person dies or whatever it might be, and they never find anyone to replace them. You don't often hear the stories where it's, yeah, we lost a member, but we found a guy to replace him, because that's not notable. It's notable. It's notable for the moment when it happens, but not long term.
But like, it's also kind of like, I mean, what are outside people gonna think? Like, what are outside people gonna think? Because like they built. I mean, I'm gonna say like people like some bands, like people like fans, like they built like almost like they have like a connection with these people.
So I mean, that's what I meant by family.
That's like so hard to like what I'm supposed to like this new guy now? Like what the hell? Like what the fuck? He's not that guy. Which is also hard for the new member because he's just trying to make a career now.
Well, it's like with my band when this Derek, his name's popped up a few times tonight.
He's just disrespecting Derek.
He disrespected us. Anyway, off topic. What I'm saying is, it's like what you just said. It affects your image. So, like, I'm not saying we're famous by any means. We're not at all. But like, as us being a band in general. Where, you know, we said, okay, you want to leave? Screw you. And then my guitar player replaced singing. And that's happened before. A lot of bands like AC/DC, you know, are like, okay, this guy's gone. I'm still here. I'll fulfill his role. And if it works out, it works out. If not, you figure it out.
I mean, there's a lot of things where, I guess you can even relate it back to that family thing where one member of the band or one member of the family tarnishes the reputation of the entire family. You ever... So, okay, here's the interesting thing about this. No, music is audio, obviously.
Wow.
But...
Wow, yeah.
That's a revelation.
Wow.
And the podcast there.
No, so what I was actually...
We're just talking for like an hour.
No, what I was actually going to say is... what's interesting about that is in the editing process for both music and audio, just in general, isn't even talking about the podcast editing. It's just the whole editing for when it comes to music. How do you guys feel about that? Where you edit like segments together of different music to make it.
Okay, well, no, sorry.
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
It's very satisfying. Sorry, I want to talk first. Sorry. I mean, okay. First of all, I make vocal covers on YouTube, so I don't make original music. As I guess I have already answered that. I do not. But I think what's really good about the editing process is that, like, wow, this sounds. I don't want to toot my own horn, but yeah, it sounds good. Just want to point it out.
So you haven't. No offense, but you haven't experienced recording in a studio.
I have. Well, it's not necessarily a studio.
With your Korean.
Okay, the editing phase in general, and yeah, it's a phase because it's a very time-consuming. And
Alex is going through a
can
phase.
be very stressful.
Yeah, definitely for you guys, I'll definitely say, like, because, like,
when you're editing like real instruments, you know, like drums, guitar, bass, and vocals, when you're listening to it over a really high performance, you know, speaker or whatever it is, and you obviously, like, this is why you see a lot of like bands, you know, it'll say the name of the song and then remastered, because that means they've taken the song, completely redone it, or edited it to the way they want it to sound. And that's what the whole point of editing is, obviously. And it, like I said, it can be very time consuming and annoying because, you know, you find errors that I've done it before. We listen to a song we've done 10 times, just making sure it's 100% and we all agree on it. Because as a band, you should all agree on it.
Okay.
Because that's your creation. So you should everyone who took part in it should be satisfied. And fireworks. What I'm getting at is yeah, it's a very time consuming phase, and it you got to make sure you're happy, otherwise it'll bug you.
So here's a question: what do you guys think about auto-tune?
well, I guess this is more of a question for me, I guess.
Yeah,
it is a big question for you, but it's just a question going out just in general to say, what do you think about auto-tune?
I mean,
to be honest, I never heard of it.
I've never heard of auto-tune.
It's just the shit that makes
voices sound more like.
Oh, so
like tuning them like
anything
They
like
tune
that.
them-
you ever hear that like where people speaking to a mic and goes wow,
Yeah.
it's like where it goes
It's something like that, but like
and it makes them in sort of in
mostly.
tune.
I mean, like when I record my covers, I never tune my vocals because my recordings or whatever because I like.
Because I'm perfect.
No, because I like it to sound raw. I like it to sound like I'm singing at my bestest capacity.
It's raw.
It rarely, in my opinion, I despise most music that uses anything like that because I find it takes away from what makes me enjoy music. Like I said, that sort of passion versus the very refined, generic, very samey pop that we see today. There is some cases where like
Auto-tune
the heavy
is acceptable.
editing and heavy editing of the voice
well, here's a perfect
will
example.
add to it, but rarely.
This is a perfect example. You can't get an example better than this. Listen to a song by a band you like live, and then listen to it on YouTube.
Studio, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's completely different.
Listen
Obviously.
to studio and listen to live. That's
Actually, here's
Hold on, just one
go
more point about auto-tune. Mostly, I just think auto-tune should just be used as an effect. I don't think it should be used in an entire song. I think just as long.
That's what I was getting at with my good example.
Yeah, it's like if it's used as an effect, I think it's fine. It's just that I don't want it to hear. I don't want it to be taken up like almost the entire song. If it can be used for like a cool like I don't know like or something like that.
I know because I actually have a great example for this. Well, like 2 examples. Kanye West, a lot of his older songs, literally all auto-tune. It was very yucky. Kanye West has like a few bangers here and there, but not often. Very, very seldom. Even now.
Yeah, I don't like.
He has very seldomly put out good songs.
Oh, so he's like a R. Kelly
some
type.
people would disagree.
Yeah.
Hard.
it's like
No, but he puts out shitloads of songs, and he gets a hit in 1 in 100, but he puts out like 5,000 songs a year, so
Yes.
it's not exactly a problem for him to get a hit.
Yeah.
I mean, of course.
And then with
I'm
that, the second example I was going to bring up was a song called "Homicide" by Logic, and that this one's it has Eminem in it, if that's important to you. But the song, he's going on about a whole bunch of stuff, and then he goes ahead and has an autotune segment where it goes, "I've got designer clothes and red cars," but he's more mocking the whole genre, and the reason he puts it in there is he actually has that's the only part of the song that's auto-tuned, and it sounds very heavily auto-tuned, and it has that very synthetic sort of voice, but it is his voice, obviously. And it's auto-tuned because it's making fun of people like Kanye West that say, "I have designer clothes and fast cars." I don't remember the exact. I remember designer clothes in there, but I don't remember.
So it's
the second
like
part.
used as like a mocking tool, basically.
He uses it as a mocking tool, and he uses it as sort of an addition to the song, an effect.
Is it like very self-aware? Like
that part was very self-aware. Yes.
Okay, because
Because it was making fun of other artists. People like those mumble rappers,
right,
for example, who goes like. Like you can't understand the words, and it's just heavy bass and like music in the background. It's disgusting.
Oh, I just want to say it's just out off the top of my tongue. Jesus Christ, I hate when people like they just play just the heavy bass outside of their cars. It's so annoying.
Well, yeah,
especially inside, because I just feel like I'm annoyed.
Yeah, well, like things like all those Lil whatever, like Tekashi 6ix9ine is an example even of a terrible mumble rapper, heavy bass, heavy music in the background,
all the songs
and he just sounds like it's all mumbling. And, like you can't understand any of the words he's saying, and that's just that whole story. He's in jail now, so I mean he's not exactly putting out any more of that.
I mean, yeah, so he's basically like I said before, he's an R. Kelly type.
Thank God.
Thank God. First of all,
he's been put away.
Yeah,
for his crimes against humanity.
Yeah, but so like thank God. And like, how long has he been going on? Like, how long has he been?
Most of these people are actual criminals. Most of these mumble rappers and things like that are actual.
And how the hell do they get a career at the first place? Because
they're actual criminals, and then because their criminal enterprises are popularized, and then teenage girls listen to them and say, "Oh my God, I want to be whatever the hell it is. I want to be his boyfriend."
It's like, well, like I just want to point out, it's like kind of like I don't know, people like have this like. People think it's cool at first, but like when they see it for their real eyes, like holy shit, that ain't cool.
Dude, most of these people are actually abused their people in their lives. Like a recent example is you guys know who Tekashi said, not Tekashi, who XXX Tentacion is.
Yeah, that guy.
The guy who died recently.
Yeah.
He literally abused and beat his pregnant girlfriend.
Why are people like praying for him?
Yeah, that's the whole problem with it. Where, despite him being a terrible human being, he's popularized because of his criminal enterprise.
Yeah,
people just like I don't know. I just have a. I always I thought why the hell are people like idolizing these people?
Behind the scenes shit. It's like,
so.
That's a big part of music, you know.
It's so fucking weird.
It's a huge part of music. It's all behind the scenes bullshit.
And then even like rockers and rappers, rockers and other things like that. Rappers, obviously.
Like
they're way into drugs and all that other everything like that. And there's tons of them who overdose and are addicted to things, but no one cares because they all love him on stage
because it's idolized. Like
it's like John Lennon. John Lennon
HIV positive.
John Lennon was very greedy with money. He was very selfish. He very into drugs and alcohol. Didn't care much about the rest of his band. He was like, "Oh, I wrote the song. I get all the money for it. Fuck you guys." But when he died, people were acting like their dad died. You know, when he got shot that night, he passed away. People were There was riots. People were crying. People committed suicide.
I just want to say,
But he was an asshole.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, first of all, for like even people outside of music industry, like I don't know, celebrities, entertainers, stuff like that. We really need to stop pretending that we know them.
Yes.
Well, actually, there's an interesting.
Because like, hold on, I just want to say, so I just want to finish off first. It's just like, like we think that we know these people, like people, even people like in YouTube, like these personal relationships and stuff like that. Like people are like exposing each other, crap like that. Alex is just watching the fireworks right now. But it's none of our friggin' business about what these people do. Even and then when it's public, it's like. And when it's like public, it's like, okay, if it's really bad stuff, then like we should look at it as really bad stuff. We should not we shouldn't just put them on this pedestal and not ignore the facts. Like
right.
Like the fact that they're putting out their real life in public, it's like we need to look at that as real life, not as just for like their persona of entertainment.
But at the end of the day, we're all human. We're all none of us are all perfect, and at the end of the day,
You're too far away. We can't hear you.
Sit your butt down.
We can't hear you. You're too far away.
I'm sure you could hear me. At the end of the day, like I said, we're all human, regardless of what we're doing, whether we're trying to get our life story out there or not. To be honest with you, if I were to meet fucking Ringo Starr right now, I'd be like, hey, how you doing?
Exactly. Don't
yeah, I'm a fan of your music. But I'm not gonna freak out and be like, oh my god, or like, can I get your autograph and shit like that? Like, I respect you and I appreciate what you do, but at the end of the day, you're just a human being, and that's what it annoys me, because I'm not saying that these people don't deserve their attention. They definitely do. They're hardworking people and I respect them, but I'm not gonna treat you higher or more than I'd treat a regular person.
If anything, you should treat someone much better.
The unfortunate thing is they are treated much better. Like
that applies for more than music, though.
I mean, like any celebrity, they're treated like they're above the law. You can take a look at things like I don't know the full situation, but people like Justin Bieber. Actually, better situation. O.J. Simpson. He got away with murder.
That was not because of his status.
He got away with murder.
Not because of his status.
Yeah, he did get away with it a lot because of his status. And also...
we're not getting into the OJ trial right now.
Yeah, we're not getting really into the OJ trial. But even things like Justin Bieber, you can take a look at that and say, hey, he did bad shit. He was seen doing drugs and selling... I don't even know if it was selling drugs or just distributing. But he didn't get any jail time.
Yeah, well, that one's a good example.
Yeah, that was a very good example.
And it's messed up. But even these celebrities, they're just put on a pedestal and they're immune. But now we're divulging out of the topic of music. So... I don't know if there's anyone else that you wants to
I've said
bring up.
I've said what I have to say.
Might as well just say, I don't know. Much as like a quick question, I don't know. What have you guys been listening to recently?
I have been listening to MF Doom, who is another rapper, but he's old one, 90s sort of stuff, and he's actually the smoothest rapper in existence. And I listened to him a while back, and I said, you know what? I should listen to him more, but I'm doing stuff right now. Now that I have a little bit more time, I can listen to him. And goddamn, is his shit like the smoothest stuff in existence. And the amount of rhymes he packs into a single sentence, there's a good over 10 rhymes a sentence on average.
I'm not prying. Like I said, I grew up listening to pretty much all the classic rock bands and country and shit.
Well, how about now?
Now, it's been a while since I've done it. In early years of my childhood, I've gone back to exploring the 50s.
Oh, nice.
I've been listening to a lot of Elvis Presley again.
Okay.
And, Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, 50s stuff, 50s rock and roll, Eddie Cochran, Buddy Holly. Very big Buddy Holly fan. I've just gone back and re-listening to it and fallen in love with it again.
And how about you, Cam?
I've been listening to too much music lately, but whatever heavy metal I can get my hands on.
The Smash theme song.
Stop. No, I've been listening to a lot of just metal. You know, just whatever really obscure shit, whatever I can get my hands on.
And how about you, Johan?
Well, like I said, I've been getting into Panic at the Disco, and also kind of like
Panic at the Disco.
I don't know. I don't know. I've been listening to more English stuff recently because like I think like for the first year I've been like listening to a lot of K-pop and stuff like that. I still like K-pop to this day, but like I want to try to get I want to get into music that I can actually understand. That's Japanese. Shut the hell up.
It's
basically the same thing.
Oh, I was about to say it's like
actually Asian.
you know what? That'll probably look bad online.
Well, I said it.
I knew you were gonna say something like that. You're the most racist person I know.
I know. I can say it. I can say it.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah.
He's Asian, by the way, so he's allowed to say stuff like that.
Yeah.
He gets the minority status, so he gets to insult people.
Exactly. My words are the only ones that have strength here.
My words are the only one with strength.
I think with that, I think this is a wrap.
I think it is a wrap.
Yeah.
I've said all I have to say.
Oh, before anyone else says anything, I want to plug Johan's crap.
Hi. Okay. My name is Johan. I have a.
We know your name already.
I know.
It's like a sponsor.
Hi, my name is Johan, and this is my.
Okay, shut up.
Shut up! I'm holding middle finger.
Hi, my name is Johan, and this is my presentation of why my channel is good.
Shut up. Okay. Anyway, so I have a YouTube channel called Lemon Chang. Chang is spelled Cheng. You wouldn't believe how many people misspell it.
I definitely believe how many people misspell
we'll have it in the
because
description.
I misspell it every time I search it.
Don't you worry. It'll be in the description spelled perfectly. I
It will not be spelled perfectly.
Thank you. I have Instagram. You can find out. You can find everything. You can find all my social medias on the channel.
He streams on Twitch playing Overwatch and Hearts of Iron 4 and a picture of a table.
Yeah, I stream a table. But anyways, yeah, I had lots of fun here today.
That's all he does.
Very good.
Alright. I hope everyone enjoyed. We're gonna say Alex.
Pleasure being here again. Hopefully to hear my voice in more future ones, and take care.
Jojo.
I had a great time. I hope I can come back again. I had a lot of fun.
Dude, and now we got Cam.
You know what? I wasn't too sure about what we were like all day. I was thinking, you know what are we gonna do with the topic with this mix? But Will came up with it on the fly, and I gotta say, even though I didn't think I'd have much to say, it was an interesting one. A lot of stuff you don't even think about. It's cool. I guess on more of a meta note, it's really fun that we're branching out from politics quite a bit the last few episodes. I think it's been working, done more good than bad for us. Definitely good to get our toes deep in some different waters.
And you got anything else?
No, this was fun. It was
Okay.
good.
Well, I hope everyone definitely enjoyed. This has been the CadCast. It's Alex's bedtime now, like about 30 minutes ago. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I think it's bedtime for me
he
too,
has to
man.
he has
Me
to go
too.
he has to go
I'm
nappy
falling
night at 10 o'clock in the evening. He did not get up that early. He is a liar. I'm just kidding. Anyway, I hope everyone had a good time. I'd love to see you next time. See you next time on the CadCast.